Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Jeremy, and I've been seeing a lot of hype around this new FPS coming out from Riot, Valorant. And I've been hearing a lot of trash-ass opinions, but also some good opinions and some fair opinions on how it's going to affect the other esports in the game and just the trajectory of this game. So I'm just going to be commenting on some of these videos that I've been seeing and some of these opinions that have been shared, and we're just going to get right into it.
Yeah, when you look at the games that you play with friends, it's like actually it's so small. Like if you have like a full lobby, you can play Overwatch together, you can play CS:GO together, but like it's kind of League of Legends even is like kind of weird. But like I feel like it's easier to play a game like like Valorant, right? Whereas it's a new game, so there's so much hype around it, and I think Valorant's gonna be one of those games where like you could potentially just pop off randomly, like anyone, and then you can also hard carry your friends if you're good, right? So it's like
really cool moments.
Where I feel like that's not true for a lot of the team-based games right now. Like Overwatch, like you're not fucking carrying if their team is better, right?
So Scar's straight tripping. He sounds like he hasn't played Overwatch for more than 20 hours. Like, it's so clear to me that he doesn't understand how hard you can carry in Overwatch, because I know that for a fact you can carry with literally any character, and you can smurf with any character. You can look at so many people on YouTube that are just carrying and are just doing bronze to GM series with one hero, and it's just ridiculous the carry potential in Overwatch. So honestly, like, when he says that, it just devalues all the rest of his opinions on Overwatch and his opinions on how Valorant's going to affect Overwatch.
But like I know CS:GO's had that thing where like
I understand.
If you're ultra good, you're fucking 1v9. Right?
I feel like
that makes sense. Yeah, that's interesting.
It might be the Overwatch killer.
Overwatch killer? Overwatch killer. Come on, bruh.
The Overwatch killer?
I think. Do you think there needs to be a game for that to happen?
Oh shit! Come on.
Yeah, Overwatch is kind of
like when I think about it, and I think about kind of Overwatch's decline, this is just gonna be the last nail in the coffin, really.
Yeah.
But Scar got it right, cause ain't nothing killing Overwatch except Overwatch, baby.
The sheriff, dude, is that like a deagle? This buy menu is exactly like CS for the most part. You have like a scout, and then you have your op. Then you have like your auto shotty, and then you got your pump. Got a couple rifles here and there. You got a deagle. It's funny. This dude's holding mid.
Yo, I don't get why people would ever compare this game to Overwatch when it's so much more like CS. The buying system, literally holding angles with like an op. I don't get it. Like standing still with an op. Come on, dude. That's CS. Let's be real.
I feel like that's part of the reason why I don't know how huge it'll be on a viewing perspective. Because like put Counter-Strike as an example. It's very clear that like flashbang goes off. Okay. Smoke grenade goes off. Okay. Guns are being bought. Here, it's like another level. It's like guns are being bought, abilities are being bought, utilities being bought, and characters do stuff. So, I don't know if this game can surpass CS, but I think it'll be successful. Like, what is this? What is this ice wall? What is that? What is this arrow that just exploded with lightning? You know, the fact that there's so many questions will make it a harder viewing experience than like Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike's easy. Like, there is still questions for people, but not as many.
FPS shooter with hero abilities, obviously an easy comp would be to Overwatch, even though it clearly is more similar to Counter-Strike. Even Shroud's inclination is to compare to CSGO rather than to compare to Overwatch, because he recognizes that the gameplay elements are much more similar to CSGO.
Definitely looks a lot like CS mixed with TF. It actually looks more like TF2 than Overwatch, actually.
I think because he gassed himself out.
It looks more like TF2 mixed with Counter-Strike. Mixed with like that shitty free-to-play. And like Paladins. It looks, actually, you know what? It looks more Paladins Counter-Strike like. So I think there's like a balance between the simplicity of like Counter-Strike, where it's just man shoot gun, I shoot gun, you die. And then there's also, and then the other side of it just being, goddamn, what the fuck is happening? This is World War III, bro. There's fucking nukes going off. There's like fucking, everybody's in like a cold winter. Somebody's dying to lava while being frozen. I like, how does that even make sense? How is a person on fire also while being frozen? I don't even know how that makes any logical like sense kind of thing. Anyway, my point about Project A or Valorant is that like it feels like just Counter-Strike, but just with more bullshit like that doesn't need to be in it. You know what I mean?
So I don't know what this fool is saying, because obviously this is like Counter-Strike, but if it didn't have these hero elements, then what the hell's the point of the game? Like what's the point of it? Then Riot would just be making another military shooter. So I don't know why he's saying that it's unnecessary. Obviously, they're trying to create a hybrid genre. So I think he's just straight tripping at that point.
Is it GG for Overwatch League because all the pros would go to Project A? I don't know. It might be too early for that. Like, realistically, how many, if we think about it, how many Overwatch pros have good aim? Or, like, not have good aim, but, like, how many are, like, known for, you know, insane aim and shit? Like, I think a lot of the pros with good aim could probably go. But Overwatch and Project A don't look like similar games. It looks more like a Paladin slash fucking Counter-Strike game, you know? Not Overwatch, really.
Pretty much everything Dogman said was pretty spot on, and I agree with. Especially the comments he made about the pro scene. Like, ain't no Winston, Reinhardt main, Mercy main, Lucio main. They're not going to go pro in Valorant. Makes no sense. I think the only crossover is with these DPS players that are on like Widow, Kree, that kind of skill set is the only thing that crosses over. So I think that's a very small portion of the player base. What I do think, however, is that we'll see the players that do transfer over are these DPS players that go to Overwatch to play DPS because they're drawn to these more shooter elements, and I think there'll be a small migration from that player base. But overall, I think, dude, you don't play Overwatch. Most players don't play Overwatch just to play Soldier, you know, or play Widowmaker or Kree. You play to play these unique characters with unique abilities that aren't seen in other FPS. So I don't think the transfer rate is going to be absurd like some people may be thinking. Like we aren't going to see XQC going pro in Valorant because that dude is trash at aiming. We all know that. But he's nasty on the Winston. So we'll definitely see some player migration, but I honestly, like, it may seem funny, but I think it might help queue times for DPS, and it won't be 20-minute queue times anymore. So I think some of the players will migrate, but I don't think it's going to be the whole player base because you don't see no Mercy playing Valorant. I actually think we're going to see most of the player base come from former CSGO players or even the pro scene from former CSGO professionals, and it's just clear to me because gunplay is so similar, the buying system so similar, all these things, but it's just a refreshing take on a military shooter genre that has been pretty stagnant for at least 20 years. Obviously, it's the purest form of clicking, pointing, and aiming, so that's why everyone loves it, and viewership for CSGO is still so high. But I think for a lot of players, this will be a refreshing take on the genre, and we'll see not all the players move, because the simplicity of CSGO is just so beautiful. But I think that there are a good amount of players from CSGO that will switch over to Valorant because of this added hero ability elements rather than smokes and stuns and flashes. So I think that's where most of the players are going to come from rather than from Overwatch. But obviously the players are going to come from everywhere. Do I think Valorant's going to kill Overwatch? Hell nah. Do I think Valorant's going to kill CSGO? Hell nah. Do I think Valorant's going to succeed? Hell yeah. But on the real, I do think that all these games are going to succeed and that there are going to be players for each one of them because they just have AAA development and such backing that I feel like it's almost impossible to fail and impossible to die off. And if Overwatch does die off, it's going to be because of Jeff Kaplan and Blizzard.